What's going on, guys? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here. How are you? It looks like we've got some people in here already, which is awesome. I appreciate you tuning in tonight, keeping it real with me. I'm the only one in here tonight. We've been having guests in the last few weeks, and I've actually really enjoyed that. I'm loading up here. There we go. Okay, it looks like we are live on YouTube, so that's good. We got three people in here. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. We're going to hang out for a few minutes and hopefully let a few people filter in here. Running through, I saw Kat was in here right away because she's got nothing to do. The Nurse Flipper is in here. Yard Sale Steals 300 is in here as well. Flipping Flamingos, you guys have something coming up tonight. Is that right? I think you have something tonight, unless I'm mistaken. So thank you for coming in. Mark, thanks for stopping by, my friend. Dapper Tiger is in here. Austin is in here. Yeah, there's got nothing. I know you got nothing tonight, huh? Okay. I thought I saw something tonight. Something coming up. I don't know. It was a really long day and a short night. I woke up about 2 a.m. and just one of those could not get back to sleep. So I did catch about a half-hour nap or so before the show, so I'm a little bit more rejuvenated. I feel okay. I can make it through. But yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. We've got Jerry in here now as well. Okay, and my mother is in here. Say hi to Mama Mountain Man. She is in here. Cajun Reseller, hey, you're always in here, man. I appreciate your support so much. Thanks for everybody swinging in. And I figured out, look at this. I figured out the banner thing here, guys. So we can, bam, there it is. So we figured out the banner, so I can run that. Chris Gatwood is here. Hey, Chris, thanks for coming in. Lots of people filtering in, which is awesome. I appreciate that. I hope everybody had a good weekend of sales. I didn't have a huge weekend of sales, but we did pretty good. I think we ticked up into the double digits. It was a little bit slow, but I anticipated that for Easter. People kind of hanging out. I did okay. I actually brought quite a few things to the post office today. Though one thing I was talking with the Nurse Flipper, I was talking with Kat earlier this afternoon. I've seen people mention it. It hasn't gotten me yet, but if you guys, if it hasn't, you haven't got bit by the eBay app bug yet, it's bound to happen. It finally got me. What's going on is, for some reason, when you create, and I do almost all of my listings off of the app, 99% of the time. I do most of my work off the phone. And when people are listing stuff, even if you set calculated shipping on there, or flat, priority, flat rate, whatever it is, there's something in the app right now that's glitching and it's defaulting back to free shipping. I sell a lot of smaller stuff. I like selling easy things. I don't have a lot of storage, so I pick smaller, easier to ship more often than not. So usually that wouldn't hurt me, or at least hurt me too bad. Over the weekend, I realized I sold a vintage Ab Flex, the triangle looking thing that you pull in the middle and it's got the resistance bands underneath. Sold one of those. Nice sale. $43.99, free shipping. Most shipping on those, people are charging $40, $50, depending on where you live. Mine defaulted to free shipping and I missed it. So somebody got a smoking deal on that. Of course, I had to ship it all the way to Mississippi. It couldn't have been in Wyoming, or I sold something today just down the road in Lewistown, Montana. Couldn't have been down the road. It had to be in Mississippi. It could have been worse. I actually got home. I boxed the thing up. I went through FedEx. It was the cheapest option. It cost just under $21 with the eBay discount. So I actually did still make money. I was worried this morning before I came on box I was going to actually pay to send this to somebody. So just be careful on that eBay glitch. Make sure after you post something, click on view your listing and go back in and look at the listing and make sure that the shipping is right on there. I know it adds another step. I know it's obnoxious, but you could be put in a situation like me where, I lost $20 because I didn't check. So just a little bit of advice from the mountain man here, as we waited for people to get in. Looks like we got 16 people in here already, which is awesome. I'm really excited about that. Scrolling back through the comments here, it's hard to keep track of them a little bit. The Kelly Hustle is in here now. That's awesome. Thanks for coming in. I didn't go back far enough. Tay Smith is here. SC Thrifted Treasures is here. Cajun, I shipped out over. That is a lot of work, my friend. Wow. Teach me before tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to scroll back through. Yeah, we got Hip Flippin' Mama is in the house as well. Midwest Picker is here. We got a lot of folks in here, guys. I sure appreciate it. Yeah, I picked this one up off of eBay. I can't remember. This was somebody in the Resellers Resource Center. I think I got this through an event. Was it Cajun, or I don't remember who I got this from actually, but this was an eBay find. You're cooking man. That is a good evening. Yeah, I am just scrolling through here. It is hard to track on these comments, so I apologize, guys. Especially when you guys are in here and chatting up, it's hard to scroll back through them. Yard sale steals 3,000. Yeah, I don't love shipping FedEx if I don't have to. Every once in a while you get hit with some fees that you didn't anticipate, but it was my best option. Worst case, it's the same. It was going to be like $48 to ship it through USPS. Depending on which I used, it was like 46 to 48. So it was it was not good. Storage Slayer, thanks for stopping in. You've not had that. Yeah, I hadn't had it happen either. Until, or at least not that I noticed, until all of a sudden I was looking at that going, there's no way I set that as free shipping, right? And I didn't. Cajun Roots Reseller is in here now as well. And yeah, so I guess we could get going now. What I wanted to talk about, let me turn off this banner. We don't need that scrolling through the whole thing. What I wanted to talk about a little bit was international shipping. It's something that I've mentioned in my videos. It's something that I sell a lot of stuff internationally. I didn't used to. I started during the summer. And I'm only a month and a quarter basic, or a year and a quarter into this eBay selling. So I'm learning as I go. It's baby steps. And baby step one in terms of international shipping is the global shipping program. Now, it pretty much as easy as it gets, guys, as far as global shipping. Now, yep. All right. We got Mountain Mama is watching in the other room. So there we go. Yeah, global shipping, pretty much as easy as it gets, guys. That's sort of, if you want to dip your toe into the international water, that's what you got to do. Now, once in the program, you have to click the button to be enrolled. You can do that in your account settings. Once you go into account and shipping, you kind of scroll down there. There's all sorts of stuff, and it says global shipping program, and you click yes, I want to be a part of the global shipping program, and bam, done. I mean, then you're in. It's super easy. Once you're in that, I believe the number now is 64 countries that you can sell to. Okay. Now it just makes sense. International selling makes sense, guys. I mean, there's how many millions of customers in the United States, right? And then let's multiply that exponentially when you open it up. So there's a lot more customers outside of the country than there are in, frankly. They say on eBay's thing, when they're talking about global shipping, they work 6 days a week, apparently at the facility. I was reading up on it today. They say they have the capability to process around 15 million packages a year. There's a lot of packages going into Kentucky. That's where you ship it. They process your package. What happens if you're in the global shipping program? Nothing changes other than you click that button saying, you know what, I'm willing to ship global shipping. But all you do is ship it to Kentucky. There's a gigantic warehouse in Erlanger, I don't know, somewhere in Kentucky, and you ship to this massive warehouse, and then your job's done. That's it. When you get the order, it's going to look pretty much like any other order that you get, except it's going to have a long string on there of numbers and letters. It's an ID number, actually. And if you look at the last two letters on there, that'll tell you where it's going. I believe it's the country code. So, for instance, like DE, I think is Germany, and so there's different SP, I think, is Spain. There's different letters on there that'll give you an idea, or you can look at the user. Sometimes it'll list where they're at, but that an interesting thing. Yep, they do. They have a video on that. It's kind of a cheesy little 2-minute video. I think their warehouse is a little more hectic than what they let on. I mean, it's got to be, right? There's how many thousands and thousands of packages a day internationally coming into one place. The stress in that place has to be through the roof. It's got to be like Amazon, frankly, like a fulfillment center. But all you do, you get that thing and you just ship it to Kentucky, and that's the end of your responsibility. So in terms of shipping, in terms of packaging, all of that, it's the same as if you sold something to somebody in Kentucky. I mean, that's it, right? They say that as far as when it gets there, the process, supposedly once it gets to Kentucky, then they ship it out the next day. They say they have a 1-day turnaround there. They scan it, it updates the status. Okay. And then once scanned into the facility, like I said, your job is done at that point. They give it a new label for, because they're not, get my thoughts straight here. Your label got it to Kentucky. They've got to put a new label on then in order to get it to the end buyer. And so they put a new label on there, and then it runs down this giant conveyor belt that gets scanned for dimensions and weight. That helps them fill out the customs form. Okay, so they get that exact thing. Then it goes to be processed. Now, they fill out all the customs work at this point. They take care of that. Now, they say that the package can be opened during that process in order for them to get more information for the global shipping. I have no real idea on how many packages or just what items in particular that they open, but it sounds like they open quite a few of them, quite honestly. I just package mine like I want to package this well enough that it can make it to France or to Spain. That's how I pack it, because I'm not going to count on the fact that they're going to open it and then repackage it. I package my packages that go global shipping, assuming it's going to go overseas. I put my thank you note in there. I put everything in there, just like I would. There we go. Flippin' Flamingos. If it breaks after Kentucky, they refund the buyer and they let you keep the money too. Yeah, exactly. There's protection through the global shipping program, which is good. It goes to shipping after they go through customs and they fill out the paperwork. Then it goes to their shipping center. Then they sort it to the right carrier, the right country, that sort of thing. They also at that time pay import fees on the package. That way, there are no fees at the end for the customer. The country's postal service just delivers it when it gets there. That makes it easier in that sense. That's not the case if you ship directly internationally. The fees come at the tail end, and every once in a while that you get new customers that confuses them. eBay says actually that they intend, or at least they did before the new boss came on board, they intend to add more shipping centers to increase their capacity. I don't know if there's any plans for that still, but initially, like at some point last year, they had said that they wanted to build more facilities. But that's how the global shipping program works. Like I said, to get in, you just go into your account information, and the preferences down in shipping section, there's an option to offer global shipping. Click it, and you're in. Now, at that point, you can actually update your listings, all of your inventory. That'll ask you, do you want to put all of your eligible listings into global shipping? You say yes, all of your stuff's in. So you don't have to go one by one and select all the stuff, which is nice. The nice thing, like Flippin' Flamingo said, the nice thing is you get protection. All you have to do is get your item to Kentucky, and then you have eBay's protection for if it gets lost or damaged or anything after that on the way to, say, France. if it gets lost, it doesn't show up. If something breaks afterwards, that's on them. eBay will typically, it sounds like, I've never had a problem with it, but it sounds like typically eBay will refund the buyer and they'll refund you, and they just eat the cost. Now, I think they buy the insurance, so that's why they get the insurance on the package. They also know which items are eligible to ship to specific countries, because sometimes there are items that you can't send to certain countries. Now, the bad thing on returns, I've never had a global shipping return, so somebody else that's in here might know better. But as far as I understand, you would have to pay if they file an INET, if they say this is not as it was described, you would have to pay an export fee in order to get that thing back. Now, they paid to get it into the country, but you have to pay in order to get it back. So depending on how much the export fee is, you might be in a spot, and you're in one of those situations where if it's a buyer that's just dirty, they might know that you're not going to want to pay that, and you'll say, you know what, just keep it. And then they get a free item. So like I said, I haven't had that happen. So if somebody has, let me know. But I can see how it would be an issue. I'm trying to scroll through and see if we got any comments here. I'm probably missing some, guys, but yeah, I pack it like I want it. You're the same thing I do. Cajun Roots. Tommy Bernard, eBay contracts GSP to Pitney Bowes. That's right. That's a huge contract. That's got to be one of the biggest international contracts. They manage GSP logistics, and yeah, the tax added in. And you're right, Tommy, and that's why we're gonna get into that. And I just sold something. Hey, I just sold Rick and Morty Monopoly. How about that? Here we go. So I can just click to ship it worldwide. What if it's free shipping? Okay, so free shipping, the shipping that you offer to buyers, if you're in the global shipping program, you are responsible, or they are responsible as far as the shipping end of it, to get it to Kentucky. That's it. If you offer free shipping, the customer doesn't pay any shipping to get your What's-It to Kentucky. Now, they're going to pay shipping after that to get it from Kentucky to their country. But they don't pay any. You don't have to worry. If it's free shipping, you just get free shipping to Kentucky. After that, that's it. It's just like you're sending it to somebody in Kentucky. That's all you have to do. So that is the nice thing. But another bad, like Tommy was mentioning, the fees. What happens in order to streamline things, eBay pays an average when it comes to customs and import fees. I mean, they're talking potentially 15 million items a year coming into that facility. They don't have time to sit and research what the costs are for each country, each item, because different things cost different things as far as import. And then dollar value. If it's below, like some countries, I know it's $25. If it's below $25, they don't actually have to pay an import fee. eBay doesn't sit and figure all that out because they have to streamline the operation. So each item, they just charge a flat rate. It's flat rate shipping internationally for eBay when it comes to global shipping. So what this means is that people trying to buy smaller dollar or lighter weight items, they're going to be charged the same as someone buying a stereo, right? As far as import fees. It's a great discount on the high end items for sure. Bad for the smaller end stuff. And like I said, some things don't even require fees. So you're not going to sell a lot of running shorts or T-shirts through the global shipping program, because unless that person really wants it, they're going to have to pay up for it. And they're not going to do that. A lot of international buyers, from what I understand, ignore global shipping because the fees are too high, particularly Canada. Folks in Canada don't much like that. Part of the reason too is because it takes so long. I mean, if you think about it, I'm shipping something here in Montana. I have to ship it to Kentucky, has to go and get processed. It has to go through all that work, and then Kentucky sends it on to its end destination. Well, if I ship directly, I can just ship it to the end destination. I can cut out potentially a week, right? And so things get there faster. Global shipping, they don't like how long it takes either. That's another drawback. But again, as a seller, you have protections. And so that's a nice thing. If someone's willing to pay that, by all means, let them pay it. It doesn't hurt you at all. Everything shipped with the GSP, it's sent as far as I understand, USPS Priority International. The lowest rate for international, I think it's $35 for priority. And that's why it's more expensive for the buyer too, is because they're paying for priority international shipping. They could be, I sold this hat. I sold a couple things today internationally. Land Rover hat going to the UK. I would never sell this through the global shipping program because they're not going to pay $35 to have this shipped, plus the fees that they're going to be charged. Now, they just paid the equivalent of, I think it's about $42 all in. I take care of the customs. I take care of the shipping. I send it off to them. The shipping for me, if this gets under 8 ounces, which is it's going to be close, I could pay as little as, I think, $10.95 to send this out. So shipping is much, much cheaper. I think it's going to be $15.95 potentially once I box it up. And so I'm going to pay $16, more than half off from what global shipping would be. So that is one of the differences. Let me scroll back through here. I get way behind on these guys, so I apologize. Yeah, see, Flippin' Flamingos, I see you're in here answering some questions, so I appreciate that, because I'm missing some of them. Where do you find it? It is in your, trying to remember, you go to your account settings in the Seller Hub. Go to account, and it's in the shipping options, and that's where it's at. Yeah. Japan, I've sold several things to Japan as well. European countries, our biggest flip ever, a $500 collectible went global shipping to Norway. And I do use global shipping for the higher dollar stuff and for the stuff that I don't want to get scammed on, for the stuff that I want to make sure I have protection on, the eBay protections. I do use that because if it's a collectible, those folks are going to be okay paying higher fees because it's something they want. So higher end stuff is going to sell through global shipping. Absolutely. And yeah, Storage Slayer, you can't lose by doing it. And yeah, if you're in Kentucky, it's going to be stupid cheap shipping for you. You lose absolutely nothing. If you're not doing international sales right now, you lose absolutely nothing by clicking into global shipping. There are people that aren't going to go to they're not going to buy your product, but they're not buying it now anyway, right? So you're right. You absolutely lose nothing. Rummage for Riches, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Midwest Bigger, I think we said hi to you already. Richard, thanks for coming in, man. I see you came in late. Philly Picker is in here now as well. So guys, I appreciate it. We're up to 26. We got a lot of folks in here. I sure appreciate it. Yeah, Storage Slayer, you absolutely, it doesn't hurt anything at all. All it does is open up doors for you. There's nothing bad about it as a seller to at least give people the option, right? I'm trying to think. A lot of customers do complain about their items being damaged. I've seen that. There's actually a YouTuber in Australia, and I can put him in the description afterwards. I'd have to look it up. It's Dank something else. I don't remember his name. I could find it again. He actually had a video about a month ago where he was showing, he had a series of, this guy collects like iPods and stuff like that. He had a series of things that you can see slice marks in it, essentially. And that's not in the original listing. It's not in the picture. What's happening is either it's happening in Kentucky when he's buying it from an American buyer and they're opening it there at the facility, or it's happening in Australia. I'm not sure which one it is. He seems to think it's at the global shipping facility. I don't know. I have there are comments on his video saying, "Oh no, our Australian postal service is terrible about that." So it could be Australia, but I have heard that from other places that things get damaged because they're just moving volume, right? So they're flying through stuff. Part of that, though, that's on the original shipper, and I take that on myself to make sure I try and ensure that doesn't happen. Put something. Don't just leave the thing sitting on the top. So if somebody slices through with a box cutter, they're going to slice it open. The end buyer could be doing that as well. potentially, if you're putting it right on top. Put some bubble over the top of that. Protect it. I mean, that's our job as sellers. So some of that is on the seller as well. Richard, yeah. Easy once it's set up. It's just listing it. Once you list it, you're right. You have to click. There's an option once you're making a listing. There's an option saying, yes, I want to make this available through global shipping, and that's it. That's all you do. Very, very easy. And what it'll do is it'll show for you. It doesn't look any different. For the person on the other end, for the person in the UK or in Australia or wherever they are, they can see your listing and they can see what it'll cost for them for you to get it to Kentucky, whether that's free shipping or if they're paying that shipping, whatever it is. And then they'll see an estimated amount of fees that they're going to have to pay. Same thing that people are seeing on calculated shipping. It shows them essentially their international calculated shipping. So there's no surprises. They know exactly what they're going to pay. Here, Tommy is saying it's Australia. Quite a few YouTube resellers I talk to daily, and they can attest to it. I've sent from over their non-GSP same slices. Okay, so yeah, he's adamant. This guy's adamant that he hates global shipping now. It sounds like this guy buys a lot, so he's just kind of fed up with it. There were an awful lot of people on there saying, I think it's your postal service, man. So I don't know. We'll see. Here we go. Are there items that you won't sell internationally? I've sold a camera to Germany. They bought it off the German eBay site and thought it had a charger with a European plug. Yeah, that is I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. Actually, I'm going to circle back to that because I do ship direct international, and there are some issues with that, mostly on the buyer's end, that they have to be aware of. So we're gonna circle back to that, I promise. But yeah, there are complaints that stuff gets damaged. But if it does get damaged, you're okay. I mean, as long as you got it to Kentucky, you're good. eBay now it seems like, again, I haven't had the issue, but it seems like it can take a little bit in order to get it sorted out. But you have eBay protection, so you're going to get refunded. The customer is likely going to get refunded. The bad thing is potentially your item is trashed. So that that's a bummer. Because I know we all want to get this stuff to somebody who values it. Yeah, the money's nice, but we want to put this stuff in the hands of people that value it. And so if it gets wrecked, I mean, that's no good either, right? We are coming up. What time is it? It is 6:27. I'm going to start talking about, you know what? Let's just do one of them now because we got 5 things to give away tonight. We might as well just sort of mix them in here. What we did is on the 500 subscriber video, if you commented on that before now, you're entered. And I think we had right around 40 people entered into winning some of our stuff here. So the odds are not bad. Let me grab my computer back here, and we will do this thing. One sec. This thing turned off. I should have had it over here for you already. And I lost track of time. So let's move this thing over here, and we will pick one. And I'll show you. That's why I'm grabbing this, so you can see it as we do it. We're using one of the, the standard sorter. And so I've put standard selector. I put the comments in. I put the URL in there. Apparently, we've got 37 unique commenters. So it's actually 37. We had more comments than that, but some of them were doubled up. And now you can only win once. If you win once, you're done. Let somebody else win. So we're going to hit start. And again, let me flip this around. Yeah. I don't know if you can see this, guys. I'll tell you what it says, but I just want to show you. We want to be on the up and up here. So I think it's sorting. It is. All right. And there's our winner. Our winner for the first one is Woody Nick or Woody in the IC. I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't know if you're in here. He just said woohoo, and I got some icons in there. So Woody, you won the first thing, which is fingerlings. This coming from the pure Hustle Podcast. I have to slow down when I say that because I I always stumble over it. So on the back they signed it, "Be real, be relevant, and be reselling." They both autographed it, Mike and Orlando both. So this is a really cool deal. This has been sitting on their set for a while. So this going out to Woody. I'm going to comment on these on that old video and let the winners know that they won. And then they've got a week to get back to me. If they don't get back to me with their address, we'll do this again on one of our next shows and give some more stuff away. So I'm going to write that down real quick that Woody won the fingerling. Fingerling goes to Woody NIC. So if any of y'all know him, holler. And we'll set this aside. We'll come back to it. We still got 4 more. If you didn't win, there's plenty of chances left. Okay, so I want to get a drink first because I'm thirsty. And then we're going to move on to step number 2 in international sales. Let me go back and see if we missed anybody in here. Let's see. Hey, look at that. The nurse is selling. See, that's what happens when you come on my show. Things start selling. When you're hanging out in here, it's the good vibes. All right. There we go. Storage Slayer. You do love to get things to people that want it, but you don't care what they do. You know what? I understand that. There's some things where I'm like, you know what? Whatever you want to do with this thing, man. There are other things where I'm like, this is a treasure. I sure hope I want this on somebody's shelf in somebody's collection. I definitely hear what you're saying there. There we go. JSP is great. So cool things. Yeah, I have it as well. Okay. So let's move on to baby step 2 of international selling. And that's doing it yourself. And this is one that the global shipping program is easy to convince people to step into because they're not doing anything extra, right? All you're doing, once again, is shipping it to Kentucky, and then eBay takes care of all of the extra. So it makes it easy. It makes it non-scary, right? Selling directly internationally sounds big, right? It sounds huge. It's really not, guys. That's the secret. It's really, really not. Hey, look, there we go. Just made an international sale to Italy, 2 complete NES games for good money. Emily Conway, thanks for coming in. Emily Conway is fantastic. Go check out her channel. Check out the nurse. Check out everybody that's got the little the icon on there. That means they've got a YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to them because we have cool people in here and they've got good channels. Directly shipping yourself. This is something you can do. You're taking out the middleman. So in most cases, it's going to be faster. It's going to be cheaper for the customer. Okay. Now remember, global shipping goes priority international, which starts, I think, at $35. If you connect with Pirate Ship is another business. A lot of people use them for cubic shipping. That's the word I was looking for cubic shipping. That basically means it's not so important how much your package weighs as what size it is. So Pirate Ship is really, really good for small, heavy things, or smaller, heavy things in a smaller box. So think an anvil, right? It's not necessarily huge, very heavy. It's going to be much cheaper to ship an anvil. I don't know why you'd be shipping an anvil. It'd be much cheaper to ship that through Pirate Ship than it would probably on eBay. So the good thing is they also now have an international service. It's the simple export rate. My computer there on there trying to turn off. The simple export rate, all you have to do to get in, there's a chat icon at the bottom right corner. When you go to pirateship.com, you sign up. It connects with your eBay account, and it's okay. Don't worry about it. You're not giving somebody access to your account that is going to do anything with it. I mean, this is a trustworthy company. They are at the bottom. Let me see if I can pull it up. I've never shared a screen on here before through StreamYard. let me see if I can show you where it's at on here. So let's try a screen share and share the screen. Okay, let's see if this is working. I'm going to pull it up on my phone so I can actually see, because I have no idea. We'll see. I don't know if this is working yet or not, guys. Can you see? Can you see this? Maybe. Let's go back in. Let's share a Chrome tab. That's what we'll do. And we'll share that. Okay, there we go. Sharing this tab to StreamYard. All right. So this is what when you go to pirateship.com, this is what it looks like. Very basic, and you can actually watch this video here. It'll explain how it works. 49 seconds. Very easy. We're gonna log in, and you can't see. You can see my email. That's okay. Log me in. I am not a robot. I haven't been logged in on this computer for a while, so it might ask me a security question. It won't. Okay. So this icon right here, guys, the bottom right corner, this chat icon, all you have to do is click on it, open it up, and it's going to show, it's going to bring up, it's like an instant messenger. And all you do is, and I don't want to open it up because I probably have some customers' information or something in there. All you do is you click on that, open it up, and say, hey, I'd like to be enrolled in the simple export rate program. They'll write back in their funky pirate words and say, you're in. That's it. Like, literally, that's all it is you ask to be let in, and you're in. That's it. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So you got that? Okay. Yeah, I thought you did. I think I figured it out. Yeah, Emily, I can go through and do give moderators. I did the other day, and I haven't had that many people in here to have to worry about it. But there you go. You've got the magic wrench now. I can do it off my phone. I can't do it on here. All right, so where are we? So that's how you set up the simple export rate. Now, what that does is it sets up basically flat rate international shipping. It's based on the weight, okay? And I should have pulled up the chart, but you can find it fairly easily. Richard, I think, has the wrench as well. So bottom up. There we go. Yeah, they have, and I should have grabbed. I apologize. I should have grabbed the chart, but it's very easy. They'll actually show it to you when you sign up. It is based on the weight. Now, at some point, you get over like 26 by 20. It's the same thing once you bump into priority shipping on USPS normal shipping. You get into priority international instead of first class. But first class international shipping, you know that first class in the States is up to 1 pound or 15.9 ounces, right? Internationally, it goes up to 4 pounds. So first class international, you can go up to 4 pounds. Well, Pirate Ship setup makes it super affordable. Like I said, this hat, I'm gonna send it to the UK through Pirate Ship, and the most it's going to cost me if I go over 8 ounces is, I think it's $15.95. There's actually a cheaper rate to Canada. But internationally, the rest of the world, I think it's $15.95 for up to a pound. And then it goes to 2 pounds is $17.95. And then I think $24.95. And then I think it goes right around 30 or so. So it's still pretty, I mean, that's cheaper to send something across the world than it is across the country sometimes. So it's very, very affordable. And what it does is it makes you competitive on the worldwide market. If somebody is selling, somebody is selling the same Land Rover hat through the global shipping program, I guarantee mine is cheaper, and they're going to buy mine. So that's why I like shipping directly internationally. Now, the downside, you do have to hope your customer is aware of customs and import fees, right? Because global shipping charges them on the front end, and they just pay one lump sum on the front end, and then their mailman drops it in the box, right? Direct international, it's the responsibility of the buyer at the back end. And so it can be frustrating. Now, if they look at that listing, there is on the top, actually, there is a disclaimer from eBay that says you are responsible for any import and customs fees. It says that on there at the very top before they even read the listing. A lot of them don't see it anyway. People don't read. All right, see, nurse, you just need to stay in here longer. You got the juice going now. That's awesome. Good job. Now I lost where I was. You lost my overseas return. Yeah, we should do that. We will do that. They have to pay the import fees to get it out. So eBay tells them that. I still put it at the bottom of all my listings. I put a disclaimer, I say, note to international buyers, we are not responsible for any import or customs fees you may be charged by your country's postal service upon receipt. It's the same one every time. So that's what I put on all of my listings so that they have it on the top, they have it on the bottom. Now, I'll still get messages every now and again from a customer saying, hey, I went to pick up my package and they're telling me I owe another 10 pounds or whatever it is. Why do I do that? I thought it was free shipping, because as far as they're concerned, it shows up as it's just free shipping. I lump it all in one price. And then I explain to them, and most of the times they go, oh, okay, I haven't done this a lot. I understand. I'll be more careful. For the most part, they understand. So every once in a while, you get somebody that's kind of grouchy about it. But generally, I've found that overseas buyers, for me, I have less trouble with them than I do with people here in the States. Quite honestly, they leave good feedback. They're very, very kind. I love selling internationally. I mean, I think it's really, really good. Here we go. Sorry, I got my nose itching here. Had an issue with an APO not able to ship through eBay. Went to the post office. They were able to ship and was cheaper. That's interesting. I thought you could ship to APOs through eBay. I wonder, Richard, did you try shipping through Pirate Ship? I'd try it that way. If you connect your two accounts, Pirate Ship and eBay, you can also, you hit import and it'll suck in all of your listings or all of your orders that you have to ship out that day. And you can that way you don't have to manually punch in their address, and so it makes it super, super slick. It's really easy to do it that way. What do buyers see under shipping when using simple? See, you're using the simple export. That's on your end. So all they're seeing is what I do is when I ship internationally, I set a flat rate. I go into shipping and I go down to the bottom and I say, yes, I want international shipping. And then it says there's essentially a calculated shipping option. But since I'm using simple export rate and buying it through Pirate Ship, I just put a flat rate. Now, what I tend to do actually, and just for ease, now this isn't probably for everybody. What I do, I set on almost everything because I sell a lot of lighter items. If it's up to 2 pounds, remember 2 pound simple export rate, I think it's $17.95. I will just say $19.99. I put $19.99 on, I don't know, 85% of my international shipping charges. I figure that's that's essentially a handling fee, right? And sometimes it pays for expenses because something that I would anticipate sells here in the States, I can put it in a free USPS priority box and I don't have to worry about it. It sells internationally. Now all of a sudden I have to provide the box. So sometimes that is kind of annoying. Like there's been a couple of things where I was sure it was going to sell here in the States. It didn't. It sold overseas, and I had to find a big enough or a oddly shaped box to fit it when the USPS shoe box or something else would have fit it perfectly. And so sometimes, it covers that. So I just set $19.99, and it's still going to be cheaper than global shipping. So people are still going to look at that, and they can still send me an offer. Now, what they're seeing is just a total price, free shipping. So there's wiggle room in there for them to send you offers as well. So that is really cool. I'm catching up on stuff over here. Oh, here you go. Someone was asking me to do that the other day. Change it to $19.99. Yeah, that's what I do. I just charge $19.99 flat rate. It generally works. Now, like I said, I might lose some buyers because to Canada it should be cheaper. But if somebody in Canada sends me an offer, I know that, and I'm willing to swing a deal. So that gives you some wiggle room when you set your shipping, and you know what your shipping charge is going to be. Trying to think what else. You can set different rates for different countries if you want. You can go in and set individual rates for Canada and the rest of the world or different countries. I don't worry about that just because it's easier for me. So I just flat $19.99 it. It's just easier, right? And I like that. Now you set this all up in your options. You can allow both global shipping and international direct, and just let the buyer choose. If they want to choose global shipping, okay, you don't have to worry about it. In terms of customs, I've got a video a little bit back. I don't want to pull it up because you'll see, I don't want to pull anybody's order up and flash anybody's. I don't think you're going to show up at their door in the UK, but I don't want to put their information on there. But as far as customs work goes, people are scared. I don't want to do all the paperwork, the customs paperwork. Okay, here's the customs paperwork. You have to tell them how much the item itself weighs. So easy enough, right? You tell them what the dimensions of the package are. You're doing that anyway, right? You have to tell them how much the total package weighs. Again, doing that anyway. You tell them what's in it. Now, you don't have to get specific, and you just say, I typically say pre-owned t-shirt or baseball cap. Just something so that the guys at customs know what's in that box. That's easy, right? What is it? And then you tell them how much it's worth in US dollars. That helps them determine how much they charge for customs fees. That's it. That's your customs work. You check a box and write your name in there that says it's basically an electronic signature that I'm signing this customs form. That's it. That's the customs paperwork, guys. Like, seriously, it takes 30 seconds to do through Pirate Ship. It takes no time at all. Now, there is, and I can't speak to this because I haven't used it, but eBay has recently launched its own international shipping option. I've looked at the rates. They are not the Pirate Ship rates are cheaper, but you do then, I think, have the added protection through eBay if you use eBay's international shipping. So I can't speak to that, how well it works. I assume it works fine. I think people use it. And that's an option on international shipping too. You just click eBay. I think it says eBay International or something now. You can click that, and then you just pay like you would normally buy a label for anybody else. You just buy it off of eBay. I use my PayPal to buy it. And so you can do it that way as well. Now that's one of those things where it costs more than Pirate Ship, but less than global shipping. So you're parking yourself in the middle. So you could try that as well. Is the Pirate Ship international shipping label small enough for a Rolo? I don't have a Rolo. I think it would be because, good Lord, Kat, she's like selling stuff, but you have like 8,000 things listed, so it makes sense. And I missed this. So, yeah, Jeff, thanks for coming in. I sure appreciate it. Emily, I don't have a Rolo. I have a Dymo 4X, and it prints it fine on the 4x6 label. Now it prints it horizontal, right? It just turns the label horizontal. So that's how it fits on there. So I would assume that it would also work on a Rolo as long as it's printing horizontal on a 4x6 label. Yeah, the nurse is selling. No, you're close. You're like 8,000 things. I know it. And you just bought like 500 pieces of jewelry. So you've got plenty of things over there to list. Dymo is the way to go. Yeah, I like my little Dymo. It does a really good job. I know some people like their Rolo. I don't know. I've only ever used the Dymo, and I got no problems with it. You can exclude company. You can exclude countries if you'd like. I don't. I haven't had really any problems. Like I said, I have more issues with buyers here in the States. Now, I did have a guy in Italy that he was giving me trouble. It was really frustrating, really obnoxious, and the eBay people were really very nice with it. It's just he was claiming something was broken when I know it wasn't. But because he was claiming that, as you guys know, you're stuck, right? So what happens now? A lot of times, as far as returns go, you are not obligated to refund any customs or import fees. eBay made that clear to me when I was dealing with this guy from Italy. You might end up ultimately having to refund their money that they paid for your item. That's all you're responsible for. You don't have to pay any fees that their country's postal service charged. You don't have to refund them that. Okay, so don't let them convince you that you owe them import fees. He was trying to convince me of that, and eBay for Business helped me out and said, no, that you're off the hook for that part of it. Ultimately, this guy, I never ended up. I was making him go through the return process because I didn't think that he would do it, and ultimately, he didn't end up sending it back. eBay did make me send him money to buy a label. Because he claimed INAD. So they did make me send him the money for a label, which wasn't a ton. And then he never actually sent it back. So I haven't, I know, Emily, you had asked about returns, and I haven't had a return. Now, I did have a T-shirt that went to the UK that she was unhappy with. She said it had a strange odor. It didn't. I mean, it was fine. I don't sell smelly stuff. But it was like a $12 or $15 shirt. I just refunded her. I was like, you know what? So it's one of those things where it's like selling and shipping Pyrex. My guess is at some point, one of those bowls is going to break. But if you said 99 of them and the 100th broke, you're still way ahead of the game. Same deal here. Right? I mean, you're still way ahead because I have way more good customers than I've ever had bad. Now, I have taken Italy off of one of my preferred countries list. I don't love selling Italy. Part of the problem is Italy has a laundry list of things that can't be sent. You can't send shoes there. Toys made of wood you can't send to Italy. There are different countries that have different rules about what can be sent. The biggest thing is knives. You can't send knives basically anywhere except to US. So be sure that you don't try and sell a knife internationally, or they'll get grouchy at you, and you can't do that. So don't sell any knives internationally. Peru and Brazil, you can't import used clothing in Peru or Brazil. I don't. There's some weird stuff. It's interesting. What do you got, Cat? I had the same thing. A dog training collar. They never shipped it back. I called after 10 days. Got return closed in my favor. It was $179. Yeah, I think they were trying to switch it out. Mine was new. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a few that are going to try and do the same thing. I actually had one thing come back internationally that I sent. I've had two things come back. One thing is actually a guy that I'm working with. It's one of those like, man, he's messaging me all the time, but he's not trying to intentionally be obnoxious or bad customer. He just wants his thing. And he was actually kind of fighting with his country's postal service because they legitimately were overcharging him. He's in Spain. And he's a doctor there in Spain. So I think it was the principle of the issue thing versus actually not being able to afford it. They were trying to charge him a lot on the customs fees, and based on their rules, they shouldn't have been. Ultimately, it took too long to sort out, and so they sent the item back to me. He has sent me a message and asked if I'd be willing to send it back to him if he just pays shipping back, and I send it essentially as a gift at that point because the eBay transaction's already gone. I've already got his money. And so he said, wait until this whole pandemic thing is over, and then because he's worried about that right now, and then we're going to connect again. I did have one other thing come back from Germany that just sat there. They never claimed it. It came back. A couple of horror movies. They've just been sitting. Nobody's ever they haven't said anything. So at some point I'll probably relist them. I don't know why I don't know. Sometimes I think what happens is sometimes it gets there and they don't want to pay the customs or import fees, and so they just leave it. So kind of interesting. I don't know where we're at. No. There we go. how do you know what can go to where? Now, I think, as far as I understand, I think eBay, I think they'll get a notice because it tells what category. eBay knows what category it's in, so it won't let them get it through. It won't let them order it. Now, there are things that randomly slip through, and sometimes they end up at customs, and customs will you'll get a notification from eBay. It happens with global shipping too sometimes. Things will get somehow slip through the net, and then they get caught, and then they'll say, hey, we're not going to let this come through. So every once in a while, but for the most part, I've never had any issues with it. But it is interesting. Italy is a pain. Yeah, no leather goods. You're right. Italy has a huge list of it's a weird list. I don't understand. I don't understand Italy. I mean, they're trying to protect their country's economy. I suppose they want everything made there, I guess. But I mostly ship anywhere, guys. I ship. One of the things, and I've noticed, if you do a lot of retail arbitrage toys, I sell a lot of toys internationally. There's some toy trucks that I was selling 1 and 2 of these things a week at least for about a month and a half or 2 months ahead of Christmas overseas to the UK, to Scotland, to Ireland, to Germany. For whatever reason, they loved these things. I hardly sold any in the States, and they sold constantly overseas. These things, I sold one of these this morning. This one is going to the UK. This I picked up at Target. Now, just like anything else, the exclusives sell well overseas. So see, you're getting some bolos in here too. I picked these up at Target before Christmas, so they have been sitting around. I think I have one left. This is just a little Paw Patrol toy. I've sold 3 of the 4 that I had. All of them have gone international. One went to the Russian Federation, one went to Israel, and now this one went to the UK. So if you do RA toys, I guarantee selling internationally, you're gonna sell a lot more stuff, especially fourth quarter. Super good market. Let's see. I'm scrolling down through here. Yeah, you're right, James. USPS has a list. International. Yeah, that's a good point. Plush international. I don't sell a ton of plush. I think I have sold one international though. EC, come on! I sent something to Hawaii the other day. Actually, some blank media I sold to Hawaii. Let's do. We're pushing on an hour in, so I don't want to. I do want to mention one more thing that I think a lot of people don't know about is Webinterpret, but I am going to show you. Let's do another giveaway. We got 5 to give away. We might as well start giving more away. Now let's do the. We'll do the lot of Josh. It's the Joshes of reselling. This an autographed mug. Josh Kim autographed this thing for us. So, and they're not making that mug anymore. That's a limited edition. It's out of print and it's autographed. So let's get back into our comment selector. And we're going to select another one. Pick another winner. There it goes. All right, there's our winner, and I can't see who it is yet. No, it picked Woody again. Woody, you can't win again. How did you win again? Let's try it again. How about that? Out of all the possibilities. All right, here we go. The winner of the mug, Stockton Ellis Fong. Congrats on the 500 subs. So Stockton Ellis Fong. He is the winner of. He was hoping for the comics. Sorry, Stockton, but you got the mug. So that's not bad, right? I don't think I've seen Stockton in here tonight, but I appreciate him, and I'm going to send him a message. We'll let him know that he won that one. Let's do another one, right? We might as well. We got to catch up. It's been an hour. I don't want you guys to wait. I am going to talk about Webinterpret, but if you guys just tuned in to find out who won the stuff, we want to get these done. So let's do. I don't know. You guys tell me. We got Big Mouth Billy Bass. We got the Commonwealth Pickers hat. autographed, and we've got the stack of comics, the vintage comics from Pure Hustle, or not from Pure Hustle. I'm sorry, from Primetime Treasure Hunter. So I don't know. First one in. Tell me what we're drawing for, and that's what we'll do. I'm waiting. There's Chris. It's gonna pop up. I see it moving on my phone, but it's not moving on StreamYard. It's super slow. Let me look on my phone. Oh, there he goes. Jerry says Big Mouth. Emily says Big Mouth as well. Chris says Big Mouth. Okay, so that one's coming from me. It's not autographed. It just sings a song. All right, so this one is for Big Mouth Billy Bass. And start. I'm telling you, if Woody wins again, he ought to enter the lottery. Richard, you're too late, man. Midwest Picker. Hey, are you still in here, man? You were in here. Midwest Picker was in here. Unless he vanished. I'm waiting to see if he's still in here. If not, I'm going to let him know. But I need to write these down, or I'm going to forget, and I'm going to have to come back and watch my own video to find out who won. So our mug went to Richard, and Billy went to Midwest. He must have. There he is. Congratulations, man. Well, you're going to have to fight Midwest Picker for it, nurse. David got it. So I'll you're in here. So on Instagram, if you want, shoot me your information if you're on Instagram, or shoot me an email and give me your address. And yeah, you got the bass, Midwest. That's what we were drawing for. So send me your information, and coming up here this week, I'll get that out to you. So we got two more. Let's talk about Webinterpret for a couple minutes, and then we'll finish up with those. So no, thanks with you. Yeah, you'll barter it. I bet you could sell that to her. She's selling a lot of stuff tonight. She's making money. Got like a blue theme going here. Okay, so Webinterpret, guys. Webinterpret is a program. If you're down, this is sort of baby step 3. This is the next step in international sales. If you're okay, if you started with the global shipping and you thought, you know what, I'm going to move to direct international, and now you're doing direct international, and like me, and it's like, you know what, that's pretty easy. I've got that down. This is your next step, Webinterpret. Let me show you what I've done now. My numbers right now, since the apocalypse, they're not great. They were better, but let me show you. I can pull up. I think I can share the tab. Share screen. All right, and now we're going to share a Chrome tab, and we're going to share, I think it's the dashboard. All right, yep, we're sharing this to StreamYard. Okay, so guys, this is my dashboard inside of Webinterpret. Webinterpret, here's our logo right here. Webinterpret is a program, I guess it's a program. It's a service. Now, they can also link to Amazon. I don't have an Amazon account, but they also play with Amazon. They're a partner. They actually have a partnership with eBay and with Amazon. So it's not like some rando third-party thing that this is a legit company. So you don't have to worry about that. Now, they were a startup. I think they started back in 2007 or so, and they went through some bumps. You can find bad reviews of these guys because they started like any other startup. They had their issues. I've been using them since the fall. I think September or August is when we started using them of 2019. Credit going to my buddy Jeff, the thrifty preacher. He found these guys, and I let him try it out first to make sure there was no problems, and then I jumped in. So I'm going to tell you how it works, but just to show you like what it does, I pulled up. This is my gross over the past 8 weeks. Now you can see things were going pretty well right here at $431.31 through using. So this is how much I've sold through Webinterpret just in the last 30 days. Now this is over the past 8 weeks. Now you can see things were actually going pretty well. 174, 260, 266, and then the world started ending, and we went into a dive. Now they've started to buy again. As you saw, I sold 2 things this morning. Both of those were Webinterpret listings. So I'm starting to trend back up now. I have through Webinterpret, I have stuff listed on 5 different countries' eBay sites. The United Kingdom right now in the last 30 days is my top market, 46%. I'm also selling to Germany on Australia. Now, see, here's the other ones: the UK, France, Spain, Germany, and Australia. Now, what Webinterpret does, guys, let me get out of this screen. Stop. Okay. What Webinterpret mean now? Man, you guys are over here chatting without me. What Webinterpret does, guys, is they take my listings, because different countries have their own eBay site. The UK has eBay UK, right? And if they just log on to eBay in the morning, they get up in Stratfordshire and log on to eBay, the default is going to their own. Now they can go to the US's eBay site. They can do that, but they have to physically go. They have their own, just like we can go to an eBay for somebody else and order off of theirs. What Webinterpret does, you link it just like Pirate Ship. You link it to your eBay account. You give them permission to get into your eBay account. Now they're not going to do anything with your information. All they need is access to your account to get at your listings. Because what happens is when I list something, and it's not instantaneous, but it's relatively quickly. It's within the hour. I list this Land Rover hat, right? I list this on my site just like normal. I put up the Land Rover hat. I put up what I want to charge for it. I put my US shipping. I put all of that. Now I scroll down to my international fees. I treat it just like I'm shipping directly internationally, because I am. There's a direct international option for this hat. But I also am signed up for Webinterpret. So what they'll do is they'll take my US listing, and the level that I'm at, you actually get 6 countries. I took Italy off because I didn't want to deal with Italy after that guy. He soured me on the entire country. Plus there's things that you can't import in there, and it's obnoxious. So I got 5 countries at my base level, and I'll explain to you how that works. But what they do is for all 5 of those countries that you saw, they'll take my US listing. Now, this is done through a computer. You can pay more and have a person translate it, and it's going to be more accurate. The computer seems to work fine for me. It's like an American trying to speak French, but I think the folks in France get it, right? They understand enough of what you're doing. But what it does is it takes this listing in Helena, Montana, and it puts it on eBay UK, eBay Germany, eBay Australia. It puts it on all those other sites. So it is a local listing. So when they log on, they don't have to log on to the US's eBay site. They log on to their own eBay site, and this pops up, okay, as a listing. If it's in Germany, it's translated into German. So the title, the description, everything is translated. So they don't have to fight through, okay, I see the picture, I like the picture, but what is it? It translates the currency as well. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out what is the conversion rate. They don't have to worry about the conversion rate. It converts whatever you're charging in US funds into whatever, whether it's euros, Great British pounds, the Australian dollar, whatever it is, it translates it. So it translates everything from the money to the language, and it lists it on that site. What do you have to pay for this, right? Because there's going to be a fee. Not that bad. You pay. Now, I set it up. You can actually get in there and tell them to bump up your listings by X% per country. I bump up all what I charge 1%. It's negligible, but it's a little bit, and it helps me cover my fees. Because Webinterpret at its base level, they charge you $1.20. Now, they don't charge you per listing. The listing itself is free. It's like a promoted listing. You only get charged when it sells. Okay, so it's just like a promoted listing, like you'd be promoting your item. They charge you $1.29 for a sale plus 5% of the sale. So I don't promote any of my Webinterpret fees, and then if they sell, it's just like I sold a promoted listing here in the States. No different. I mean, really. So I'm getting charged on this hat $1.29 plus the equivalent. It sold for like $40, so I'm getting charged $2, right? Ballpark. $2.50, $2.25 or whatever. So what is that? 3, 4. I got charged $4 to sell this hat for $45. Plus my normal eBay fees and stuff like that. So they do take a little bit more out, but you're expanding your market by a ton. You can, if you're like Kat and you sell 18 things a day, you can sign up for, I think it's $49.99 a month or something. There's a monthly charge, and then you're not getting charged per item. So if you're selling a lot, now I don't sell enough to make most months to make that make sense, but I sell ballpark. I was looking at last year at 2019. I was selling on average about 30 to 35 items a month through Webinterpret listings. So that's great, right? And then you're using pirate ship simple export rate, so the shipping is pretty cheap. I've made thousands and thousands of dollars by using Webinterpret, guys. It's a super cool program. The people there at Webinterpret, very, very nice. It felt a little bit awkward when I was setting it up. That it was clunky in the initial stages, but the very day after I signed up, somebody called me. You get an account manager, and he called me on my cell and wanted to know if everything was okay, if I had any questions. He introduced himself. He said, "Hey, I'm your guy if you have any problems." They're very responsive on email. I'll send them an email and I'll hear back that day or the next. They're way more responsive than eBay, actually. They're very, very quick. Their customer service is very good. I have had no problems with them. Now, you do have to be careful. I did accidentally list a Leatherman the other day that got listed in the UK, and they yanked it down saying, "Hey, you're trying to sell a knife in our country." I wasn't. It just slipped through, because you can set up a blacklist on there and tell Webinterpret, "Hey, anything that has fill in the blank word, I don't want to sell that internationally." So I have knives, that the sword, whatever. I have all those words in there. So if that appears in your listing, it doesn't list it. I didn't think about the Leatherman because it's got a knife that comes out of it, and that one missed it. So all they did is take it down. Now, if I would have actually sold that to somebody in the UK, they'd have probably put me in 3-day eBay jail or something, because I blew that one. So I think I've got some comments. I know stuff is scrolling, but I haven't been actually seeing them. Let me real quick, and then I'll catch up on comments. Let me show you this, just to show you what I'm selling. This is only over the last share screen. For whatever reason, it was only coming up with the last like 30 days or so, which, like I said, hasn't been a ton because international shipping went down. Yep, sharing this tab. Okay. So we sold the Land Rover hat and the Paw Patrol toy today. I sold last weekend. I sold this San Francisco 49ers hat. That went to Paris. I sold this. It was a WWE. I actually had 2 people sending me competing offers at the same time in the UK over this WWE figure. We sent Mary Kay. I sent actually no, this is the only one of these I sent overseas, but I sent 2 gift packs to I believe Spain. They sold for almost $100 a piece. It was like 90 some bucks for those Mary Kay things. Barbie, I sold 3 sets of these Barbies, 3 sets of 4. All of them went to Australia. The Pittsburgh Steelers shirt, a t-shirt, you'll never sell this through global shipping, went to the UK. My Little Pony went to Germany. Vintage, scary, creepy baby doll, missing limb, heads, sleepy eyes. Yeah, somebody in Germany paid $43 plus the import fees to get a bunch of scary, creepy baby dolls. There's a buyer for anything, guys, even internationally. So these are the sort of things that I'm selling. These are things that I don't think most of them would sell through global shipping because the fees are too high. So selling it direct international and selling it Webinterpret, it really, really helps my sales. Just based on what I know of my sales, my guess is that we've increased by going direct international and Webinterpret with the 2 of them together. We've probably increased our sales by 20 to 25%. And that seems like that's a fairly common number when I've dug into what other people say about Webinterpret. It's 20 to 25% is sort of the number. So that's my phone making noises at me. Now I got to catch up. I'm 10 minutes behind on the chat. So I'm way behind. Okay. Here we go. What do you got here? Crazy eBay promotes them, but if they ship a banned item to a country that prohibits it, your account is banned as well. Starts with small suspensions, then permanent. Yeah, you're right, Tommy. So you do have to be, really careful. And like I said, that the Leatherman, that was my first problem in quite like ever. I've never had another problem with it. So you just have to be a little bit conscious about what you're putting on there. But it's pretty easy. I mean, as long as you're conscientious with it. Doesn't GSP do that too? The guy who bought my camera through GSP bought it on the German eBay. I think they do. I'm not positive. I think they do. They put it on all the countries that they're available through. But again, remember, you're cheaper than the global shipping here. Their shipping is much cheaper. And if it's on an item that is like the Pittsburgh Steelers t-shirt, nobody's going to want to pay $35 on top of the purchase price to have that shipped. And then whatever eBay is going to charge for customs, like the flat customs fee, that might not have even had a customs fee when it got there because the value was low enough. The value is low enough. They don't have to pay any additional import or customs fees. So you're going to be much cheaper than the global shipping folks. And so you're more competitive. I had one of the coolest choice. What is it? Oh, Billy Bass. Do listings count against your eBay listings you get from your store? No. It does throw your like if you look in your app, it does throw that off. So like right now, let me turn down the contrast so you can see it. Right now, it says that I have 4,557 active listings. I don't have that many things. I have like 800 things, a little less than that now, I think, actually, but it's all multiplied, right? So it screws up the app because you're going to see all the listings. But in terms of the counting against your store, no, you're only charged for your U.S. listings. Now it does count against your. Mine is in the bottom left of my eBay. What is the thing on your seller dashboard? I'm pulling this up over here so I can look at it while I'm talking with you, because I want to get the right words. Your the monthly limits. That's what I was looking for. It does count against your monthly limit, but as you can see here, share screen. Yep, share screen. I'll show you what mine looks like. Right down here, monthly limits. It's they will bump them up. I contacted eBay and said, hey, I'm now in Webinterpret, and so that's multiplying my listings. I need you, and that was one of the initial troubles. Is actually Webinterpret called me and said, hey, we want to list more of your stuff, but we've hit your listing limit, and so you need to get that up. You need to get that bigger. All it did, I called eBay and said, hey, I need to get this because I'm using Webinterpret. They know what that is because they're partners. And I said, I just need you to increase my listing limits for the month. And they gave me, I now have a $500,000 limit per month because everything, remember, is multiplied. And I can list 10,000 items a month. I'm never going to hit that, even with multiplying my things by 5, 6 on each one. So it doesn't count against your store numbers, but it counts against your monthly limits, if that makes sense. Beth, I do all my shipping. It's basically a flat rate. I charge $19.99 for most of my stuff, up to 2 pounds. Now, sometimes if I know it's not going to be a huge seller overseas, I'll go, $18.99 or $17.99 because I know it's only going to cost me about $15-16. And then there's a couple dollars for extra work, extra fees, what little extra work there is. And that's how I do it. Tommy, historical data shows a 20% increase in sales from the people I know who have been using it for years. You just have to make sure you don't list prohibited items. You have no protection. Yeah, you got to. That's why this is baby step 3, right? You got to be confident in what you're doing, because Tommy's right. You have to know what you're listing that's not prohibited. So that is taking it to. But again, it's definitely ramped up our sales. Dapper Tiger's out. Sorry, man. I know this went way longer than I anticipated, so I appreciate you coming in. Richard, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm still behind. Nurse, thanks for coming in. I know this went super long, so thank you guys if you're still sticking around. God, I hate trying to scroll through StreamYard comments. It is the worst. It skips like crazy. I'm picturing that. Yeah, I've had people buy stuff like that in the States too. The creepy heads. I don't know. I sell them like as Halloween. I assume they're like Halloween decorations, right? That's what I assume. So you're not paying more than for the 800 listings you're using. No. I have my store subscription, and I just pay for my normal listings, and then I'm not getting charged like any insertion fees or anything like that. No, it doesn't charge you. And you're still, I was speaking with the head of consumer or customer services. I can't remember what his title is. He's an uppity up at Webinterpret. I was chatting with him, and he said that while you don't have necessarily the protections that you do through global shipping, as far as damaged items and stuff like that, you do still have protection because it's not the Wild West. They're still listing them on eBay sites. So you still have eBay protection through eBay UK, eBay Spain, eBay whatever. You still have the standard eBay protections. And so they will work, eBay will work with Webinterpret, and you still can work things out. So you do still have protection. And once you set this thing up, like global shipping, while you still have to be careful about if you're going to list something that is prohibited in another country, you have to be careful about that. But in general, it's list it and forget it. Like, you don't have to. Webinterpret does it all for me. I don't have to do anything. All my stuff shows up on these foreign sites, and I don't have to do it. So it's really, really nice. I have a friend in the UK does 7 figures on eBay alone, so it'll prohibited vitamin to Australia through Webinterpret. Cost him 40,000 pounds UK money for the 3 days pension. Yeah, wow. That's a lot. Yeah, so you do have to. I mean, you have to know what you're doing. You have to be careful. But like I say, you can set up those. Phrases and those keywords to make sure that you hold it out and that you don't put those listings on. So that's why we are on baby step 3. You have, 2 billion. Man, I thought I was doing good with 500,000. Let's see. I don't know what you holy moly, Emily. I'm so far behind. 27 in the chat. Yeah, thank you guys for coming in, and this is super. I know this is long, so I appreciate you sticking with me. Yeah, I think Webinterpret. If you go to Webinterpret, they have videos on there. They have a pretty lengthy FAQ section, so you can look on that. And like I said, their customer service is really good. So send them an email or give them a call, and they'll talk with you. Like, they're super nice people over there. So that might not be the next step for you guys. That might be too far, right? But maybe go global shipping. Maybe if you're doing global shipping, maybe start looking at direct international. You don't have to do it on all the items. Do it on a few things and try it out, see what happens. But I just wanted to put this out there for you guys. Yeah, I'd love another chat sometime with Webinterpret. I don't think a lot of people. I saw their numbers. I feel like around the first of the year, they sent me some information that said, for whatever reason, the number 42,000 stuck in my head is their customer base. So it's still a very small company. Now they actually kind of reorganized their stuff. They're doing some international shipping. They're doing some other stuff. They have different branches now. So the company is growing. But I think very few people actually know about it. And I think it's a super helpful tool for some people. Yeah, they have these functions. Yeah, there's actually, at one point, eBay was promoting Webinterpret. There was some sort of like you could join up for free or something, which now the join up is free anyway. But at one point they were actually promoting. There actually is buried on eBay somewhere. There is a Q&A or an FAQ section about eBay and Webinterpret. That if you do the Googles, I think you could probably find it. There is buried in the eBay pages actually a Webinterpret page. Watch is going down, but like is going up. Yeah. So thank you guys for stopping out. It has been an hour and a half. So I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And if one of those things, if you're like, you know what, I don't know about international shipping, I'm worried about, you know what, send stuff to Canada and the UK. And you're right, Australia, they're very good customers. They're really, really good. The UK is my biggest international customer anyway. So if you just want to add Canada and the UK, just do that. You can decide what countries that you ship to. Yeah, just so I missed it. They moved. There we go. We've got two more things to give away. Let's do it before we make this thing go way too long. We grab the laptop down here. So Billy is gone. We've got the Titleist, the Commonwealth Picker hat, and we've got the comics. What do you guys want? What's up next? We'll go for whatever you guys want. If I can get my computer to turn back on. There we go. My little baby label printer computer. Pick another winner. All right, we ready? Laptop. Yeah, we're not giving away a laptop, Summers. This is my laptop. I'm selecting our random comment thing on here. The Kevin hat. There you go. Yeah, Richard, you mentioned that before. So let's do that. All right, Kevin Brown's hat, complete with, I think there might be a Kevin Brown sweat stain on that thing. He did wear that an awful lot. Here we go. And who do we got? Jay Fisk. Jay Fisk is our winner. That's not wanting to, but there he is. Congrats on 500 subs. Really enjoy your content. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, look at, man, everybody's selling stuff in here. Get that set up. Yeah, Canada and the UK. Yeah, Canadian sellers really don't like the GSP. It charges them too much, and if you ship direct to Canada, it can get there in days. So they don't want it to have to go to Kentucky before it goes to them. So Jay wins the hat. Writing it down on the old whiteboard. Thrifted, of course. It's pink, but you know what? It was like 50 cents. I took it. Is Jay in here? Did I miss him? So let's do our last one then. We've got a lot of, I think it's 14 vintage comics from Primetime Treasure Hunter. There is some cool comics in that pile. This one, I'm going to have to see if I can find this one out. I don't know why, but I just really love the cover art. I kind of want to keep this one, so I need to find it. I love the cover art, and I want to I would frame that one. But there's some cool ones in here. So let's pick another winner. We got one more. And here we go. This is for the comics. Here we go. Yeah. Who do we got? Fab Yeti Finds. He has actually bought something out of my store before, which is awesome. He bought my Yeti hat because Yeti has been his nickname for a long time. I remember that. So Fab Yeti. There we go. I don't know. Fab Yeti Finds. Keep up the good work, Troy. Congratulations on 500 subscribers. So Fab Yeti Finds is the winner of our comic lot. So 5 winners, 5 things. Sorry if you guys didn't win, but you sent me through. Okay, Midwest, thank you very much. Give me a couple days. That cover is great. I know. Yeah, it moves, and I absolutely love that cover. I have no idea what the thing is about, but I'm gonna take a picture, and then I'm gonna see if I can find that online, because the comic itself is actually not worth that much. But I love old vintage comic art, cover art. So there we go. Pirate ship does flat rate international under 4 pounds. Yep, that's and so summer. If you summers 422. If you go back, we talk about that. If you watch this back at some point, I recognize now it is 90 minutes long. That got really long. But we did talk about pirate ship simple export rate. It makes you very competitive on the international market. So definitely something to check out. Yeah, Cajun, he sent me a pile. There's actually a handwritten note in there from him as well. So that a really cool lot. Thanks again to the 5. Well, to the 4, and then me. So to the 4 other resellers on YouTube that got me some stuff. It was really cool of them to do that. So I appreciate you guys for swinging in. Yeah, go back and Summers. Thank you. This is going to be. I think it takes a little bit for StreamYard to bump it up, but it'll be on my channel. Probably. I mean, this evening for sure. And then I can, if you want, send me a message. My Instagram. Information is on all my videos. So you, or if anybody else wants any information about this, I am not an expert, but I've been doing this now since the summer, doing international shipping, and we haven't had any problems. And all we've done is increase our sales, and we've made thousands of dollars shipping direct international. So something to think about if it's the next step that you guys want to take. It is definitely something to think about. So I just wanted to share that information for you guys. I know it went really long, so I appreciate that. I'm going to go and contact all the winners. I already got Midwest, so I'm going to get a hold of all the other folks on that other video. And again, if they don't get back with me, they've got a week. It's in the official rules. They got a week to get back to me. If they don't, then we're going to give some more stuff away next week. So you're not out of this thing yet. There's the potential that you might still win a leftover here. So thank you guys. I sure appreciate it. It's amazing. We're actually at 580 subscribers now, which is pretty phenomenal. I'm hoping to get 1,000 by the end of the year. We were hoping just to get 500 by the end of the year, but we hit 500 already. So we're shooting for 1,000 by the end of the year, and you guys are the ones that help make it happen. And I just wanted to, I know some of that is dry, but brought some international shipping because I think it's valuable information. If there's something you guys want to know about, if there's somebody you guys want to hear from, or if you want to be on the show, I absolutely would have some of you guys on the show. If you want to get on the show and talk about whatever, let me know. Shoot me a message on Instagram. Let me know. We'll set something up. So guys, I appreciate you coming in. Man, Summers. Oh, wait, I missed it. Man, see, these things move. Summers, you know what? Maybe when we get to 1,000, maybe we'll do a laptop at 1,000. I don't know. We're going to do something big at 1,000. It might not be like 10 things. It might not be, we might not do the same idea, but we're going to definitely give something away at 1,000. So you guys, I appreciate you coming in, truly. And thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.